Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing some work on the Corrado, and the objective is to get engine number 1 in. So here we have a 12 valve VR6 mated to a 02m 6-speed gearbox. To get this gearbox in, you need to use a custom engine mount, which is what you can see here. This one's from Epytec. And to get it in, what you basically have to do is to cut off one of the engine mount cups on the subframe, and I'll just show you that. So the subframe's in, and I've taken off all the wishbones and suspension and stuff just to make it a little bit easier. But you can see there where I've ground back the welds and taken it back to metal. That's where the cup normally sits. So you can see kind of the cup on that side. On the passenger side, you need to remove it because it needs to sit for the back to make space for the 02m drive shafts, which are slightly bigger. So if the cup, which is sat right here, sits in its factory position, this cup will foul the drive shaft. So what they do is they give you this new mount. I won't give it to you, you need to buy it. But you basically put it on, and you can see the drive shaft cup, not the drive shaft, yeah, drive shaft cup. There is slightly bigger on an 02m. So you position this where it needs to go, and then you use the other 2 engine mount, which is the one on that side and the one at the front, which is here, to position it, and that gives you the position for the third one. And then when you've got that one in place, you tack weld the cup back in its due position, take the engine back out, weld all the way around it, and that's it. Then the engine should be just bolting after that. So what I'm going to do now is use my crane to get the engine up and in situ, and then once it's mounted on the front mount and the rear mount there, I'll weld that third cup in on the passenger side, and that should be it. Then what I'll do is I will build a jig to go across both the rear engine mounts, just so I can weld it in place properly without it moving. Then I can also use that jig for the rear subframe as well, for engine number 2. So as always, I'll put the camera down for now and crack on with some of that. I'll try and film as much as I can, but I'll catch you back in a second.
Stop playing with them, fool.
Right, so that rear engine mount is now in. So that's the highest engine mount, so it's kind of pivoting on that point. Then the front one's in, which is this one just here. And then you can see that the cup at the back is a little bit too far forward. Probably able to see it in the wheel well a little bit easier. Right, so you can see where this cup at the moment is too far forward, so it's clearly not going to clear that drive shaft. So this needs to go back that way. So you can see kind of where if it sat where it originally sat, it would interfere with that. So I need to push it further back towards the rear of the vehicle to clear the drive shaft. And it should be relatively easy to position. And I can tack weld it in from here and the back. Take the engine mount, brace it, fully weld it so it's nice and strong, and that should be good. So I'm going to put the camera down and try and position it where I want it, and then I'll check back in. Right, I've got it where I want it to sit. That light's interfering a little bit. Let me just move it out of the way ever so slightly. It's better. So yeah, I've got it where I want it to sit. It's as far over to the rear of the vehicle as possible. If you look kind of square on, I've noticed probably 10mm between the edge of where the drive shaft will sit and the edge of that cup. So that's the most I can get out of it. The engine mount, let's have a think. Gearbox is going to move around a little bit. The cup's not going to move. No, that should be fine. That should be fine. On this side, the cup. Yeah, let's see if I can get it right on that. The cup is sitting over the edge. So what I'll do is I'll brace it kind of off this bit, just to brace it, just so it's not kind of this edge which I'm going to weld isn't kind of over the edge, just to put a bit more strength into it. But I'm overall happy with that. So it needs to come up just a fraction. So I'll just wedge something under the gearbox to lift the engine up, I don't know, 5mm. Then that should sit flush against the subframe, just along this edge here, and I can tack it in, take the engine back out, and it's all good. Right, engine back out again, and this is the new position. The tack there is not particularly great, but I couldn't really get on it. The back ones are okay, but it's enough to go around. So it's moved over, that's the line where it was before, so it's moved over, I'd say about 10mm. Or maybe just a bit over, maybe 15mm. But yeah, happy with that. So what I'll do now is I'll get the car in the air again, take the subframe off, build a jig, weld it round, build a second one, and both engines can go back in. So that'll be a momentous occasion when both engines are actually in, because then it actually is official. It will be a twin engine vehicle rather than just a shell with lots of hopes, dreams and aspirations. Yeah, I'll probably end the video there. I don't think I'm going to do any more tonight. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.